I've been asked to answer this question: how do you build a strong fashion brand? The question is, how long have you got? Because this is something I have spent the last 15 years of my life doing with small companies as well as some big companies. And I think you have to have a strong proposition. You have to know what your offer is to the market. And you have to know a key answer to this question: what is the difference that makes the difference about you? Because a brand is not what we call a push strategy. That's much more advertising and marketing. It is a pull strategy, and branding is all about how you become more attractive. Now, I spend a lot of time giving seminars, and I often tell stories, and I'm just going to tell you a quick one, because this, in effect, is how you build a strong fashion brand. You have to imagine yourself being 13 or 14 and going to that dance, as we did in my day, club as we do now, and disco as we did in the middle bit. And you're all dressed up, ready to go, and you've got the gear on, and you think you're looking really attractive. And you're sort of standing around, and what are you hoping is going to happen? You're going to get noticed. Well, my daughter is much more cool than me, tells me you want to pull someone. The idea is that person, male or female, is going to be attracted to you, so much so that they come up and ask you something, which we better not speak of in a public place. But anyway, that is exactly the same with a fashion brand. You have to know what you are about, what's the difference that makes the difference about you. You have to be dressed up in all your finery, looking good. You have to have your great products. You have to have a good logo or name or strapline or all of it together. And this has to be built together in a strategy that is going to be able to be used by you in a number of scenarios, many of which have been discussed by the panel. So when you are working online, when you are perhaps putting forth some advertising, when you're marketing yourself, a lot of the messages, both visual and subliminal, especially in the fashion industry, because a lot of it's subliminal, you've got to have all those things in place so that you can use them. And that's why I use branding as a business strategy. It isn't an add-on, and it's definitely not a logo. It's a strategy. So if you want to know how you build a brand, just think about yourself being 13 and 14. And I think I've answered the second half of my question a bit. And what's the difference between branding, advertising, PR and marketing? Well, branding is the place you start. You have to know about yourselves, and you need to know how your product or your ranges embody the personality of your brand, the values of it, the culture of it, and its image. And those are the 4 key pillars of branding. I know this because I have done a very interesting thing in the fact that I did an MA where I went to all the top branding agencies in this country, and basically they told me everything they know. So when people work with me, they get what Orange paid 2 million quid for when they went to Wolf Holdings. I can tell you all the things that are done by brands in order to build themselves, because I had learnt it from the big people. And the difference between branding is, and these other strategies, is that you have to do the brand about you first. It's all about you, the brand. The other things are what you do with it. So advertising is how you send those messages out, and especially in fashion, in a very visual way, but also with copy and communication strategies. PR is the communication aspect of this, where people start talking about you in different ways. You are seen in different places. And I would say to you that probably PR is the most valuable form of brand building mechanism you can get in fashion. And then marketing is the sort of mix, and I think Simone was saying about the marketing mix, which I'm sure she'll elaborate on for us if somebody asks her a question on that. But it's part of a number of activities that you do to develop your brand.